It was only a few months ago that this community and the nation was rocked by this tragic and senseless act of violence. It has an incident that has left our community with a tremendous sense of loss and mourning for the 14 people who lost their lives that day. At this time, I would like to observe a moment of silence in their memory. I also at this time would like to recognize that the 22 people were seriously injured that day. Our hopes and prayers are with these individuals for their continued recovery. The toll of December 2nd extended to our community, to all of California, and to the nation. It resonates with who we are as Americans and the very freedoms that we enjoy. We all lost something that day. President Abraham Lincoln, in his first inaugural address, referred to the better angels of our nature. To change his quote, I would like to address the better angels of our society. In this regard, I want to thank those angels who responded to this act of terrorism and did so quickly, efficiently, and with good judgment and compassion. I thank our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, our ambulance and emergency medical personnel, our hospitals, physicians, nurses, and other medical personnel who responded and did what they had to be done. Thank you for all you do and for your preparation and dedication. We will hear today from the San Bernardino Police Department, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, and other San Bernardino County agencies. I want to acknowledge that they were not alone in responding to this terrible incident. I also want to thank the San Bernardino City Unified School District Police Department, the California Highway Patrol, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and police departments from Colton, Fontana, Redlands, Rialto, and numerous other first responders. We also honor you for your preparation and response to San Bernardino. It is only because of time constraints that we have limited the number of groups and organizations who have been asked to testify. If any of these organizations are present and wish to speak, please let my staff know to provide your comments during our public comment. We're extremely fortunate that California has developed an extremely viable and robust mutual aid system. During emergencies and disasters, our first responders come together and mobilize personnel, equipment, and other needed assistance to bring aid to other areas of the state. Our mutual aid system also worked extremely well during an event in San Bernardino. The Joint Legislative Committee on Emergency Management is holding this hearing to better understand and learn from last December's tragic event to make changes where needed. On February 28, 2014, the Assembly Select Committee on Local Emergency Preparedness held a hearing on the active shooter incident that occurred at Los Angeles International Airport in November 2013. As a result of that testimony received at that hearing, I introduced AB 1598 in 2014. As passed, AB 1598 improved cooperation, communications, and response between agencies. It required the development of collaborative protocols and relationships between local and state first responder entities. This has allowed first responders to act effectively in concert to address incidents across California. While the overall response to San Bernardino went very well, there have been reports that there may need to be improvements and changes that could be made in our preparation, training, and response to these types of incidents. Our law enforcement agencies, fire departments, and numerous other local, state, and federal agencies all actively plan and prepare for a coordinated response to emergencies and disasters. Yet, when an event does occur, we discover that our preparation and training exercises do not cover all situations. There are always ways to improve and build upon the hard lessons of experience. While there have been other federal, state, and local hearings on the events of December 2nd, this committee wants to receive testimony to examine what occurred and to study what needs to be done to improve the future of emergency response in California. The committee would like the answers in the following questions. Prior to the incident, how were you trained and prepared for an active shooter event? What happened during the event that you did not anticipate or were not trained for? What changes to your policies or procedures did you have to make in order to respond to this incident? What changes would you make in training, planning, equipment, communication, and cooperation between agencies to prepare for a future event? And what advice would you give to other cities and counties on your experience? And what can our local, state, and governments do to help you in the future? The answers to these questions will help us in Sacramento to improve the safety and security for our community, for our communities.